Hi there, my name is Addie. My name comes up as Adeline, but Addie is fine. My preferred pronouns are she, her. I am obviously a non-traditional student. I decided to go back to school. It just seemed like a good time. I have 2 adult daughters and a teenage son. It seemed like a good time to get my degree. I live on an elk ranch in rural Minnesota. We have 2 dogs and a cat, and I'm married to Tom, and we also have elk and bison. So I'm excited for this class. It seems like it's going to be fun, and I appreciate that we do have a chance to have online classes if we can't meet in person. So my preferred meeting would be probably online, because I do live an hour away from St. Cloud, but I work as a para in a school district, so I'm finished by 3, so I could be in St. Cloud by 4. If somebody wanted to meet face-to-face, that would be fine too, or I'm free on weekends. And looking at the TED Talks, I just found both of these really interesting. Silence really is dangerous, and I was in a situation in a staff lounge a year or 2 ago, and at the time there had been a recall on spinach because of salmonella, and I believe it had been traced back to a ranch in Texas. And one of the ladies I worked with spoke up and said she was blaming, and she called them uneducated migrant workers, and that they shouldn't be handling our food if they didn't know how to wash their hands. And I was actually really surprised about this. Number one, I think about education is not only being book smart, but some people are very highly educated in their life skills, what they do, whether it's planting, cultivating, harvesting, raising children. Those are very good things to be educated in, and it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be book smart. And I also felt like sometimes this is the landlord's fault for not having adequate bathrooms or hand washing stations for people to wash their hands and use the bathroom as they're harvesting, picking, packing, whatever it is. And I'm so thankful for migrant workers. They put food on our tables, and I've had the opportunity to work at a potato farm and down the assembly line, and I've worked with migrant workers, and it's a good job to have as a seasonal position. I didn't have to do it year round, and I'm thankful. I am an immigrant myself. I've been an immigrant twice in my lifetime, and it's not always easy. But I do appreciate it. Silence does manifest prejudice. I believe that's what he quoted, and segregation and things like that. So we need to be really careful. I didn't speak up at the time, and I wish that I had done. You can say things nicely too, because we're all uneducated in certain areas, and it's nice to hear what other people think and feel. The building a school in the cloud, what Sugata Mitra had to say was just truly fascinating. I actually had to stop it and have my son watch it with me, and he was just so fascinated as well that this man had thought outside of the box to put a computer. He was concerned for the children who were growing up in the slums, and he wanted to make sure that they could learn as well. It's like he wanted to see how they learned, and that they were teaching each other not only how to use the computer but how to speak English. And it was just truly magnificent what he was doing, and that he wants to put a computer in the hands of every child. And this actually made me a little bit stop and think, because I remember growing up, we had 2 computers in our school, and we would take turns and we would help each other. So to see the children clamoring over each other and helping each other with this one computer was just so endearing to see. But if they all had their own computer, of course, that would be wonderful as well. I see that with the children in the school that I work at. They all have an iPad, and they run around when they have free time, and they play their learning games together, and they help each other out. So it's fun to see that as well. So anyway, I hope to see you all soon, and I'm looking forward to finding a study group.